Hello. In this video we are going to learn how to use the random functions in Excel. The random functions, which I mean rand and run between functions in Excel, are very powerful, and they let us to create some kind of simulations in Excel, and also they are fun to create, which we will see in the last example. Okay, let's start with the first one. The first question asks us to write random numbers by using rand function. We will just write a rand function, and it doesn't take any parameters. I just close my parentheses and I copy and paste my formulas. The rand function returns a value between 0 and 1, and you will see every time I change something, for example right here, you see they are going to be refreshed. So they are dynamic, they change every time, like this. If you don't want them to change, you have to convert them into values, like this: copy, paste special, and value. So of course they are not going to refresh anymore. So I just undo my change. So I want them to stay variable. Okay, the second one is somewhat similar, but we can also define limits if we use the run between function. So run between function returns something between the bottom and top. I wrote 1 and 99 because it asked me to write in these limits. So this is a random number between 1 and 99. The run between function always returns integers. So if you want something decimal, you may just divide the result by, for example, 10, and you will have a decimal number like this. Okay, I'm taking my changes now and going to the second question. In the second question, it asks us to write random numbers between the lower limit and upper limit by using run between function. Okay, but this time we are going to use also the lower and upper limit from these cells, which we mean it's going to be variable. So let's say run between, the bottom is this one and the top is this one, and I select, copy and paste my formula, and you see it brings something in between these limits. This is very useful, especially when you are making simulations in Excel. Okay, the third question is going to be fun. You may remember this scheme from knockdown of tournaments like NBA finals, the soccer tournaments, and so on. So here it asks us to simulate this tournament finals. There are teams and scores. These are the teams, and these will be filled with scores, which we are going to create randomly. And it asks us to write random scores for both match on semifinals by using run between function. We are going to use some limits, and after comparing semifinal scores and define which teams will qualify for finals by using if function. So we are going to create scores, and we are going to compare these scores to promote the team from each stage. And we are going to do the same for the finals, and we are going to decide, find the champion. Okay, let's start with the first one. Let's create a random value between, let's say this is an NBA match, and in the bottom is 80 and top is 120. And same for here, same for here, and same for here. Okay, every time I refresh, this is going to change, but it doesn't matter, we are making a simulation here. So these were the semifinals, and now we are going to decide the final. We need to write a if function here. So if this is bigger than this one, then we need to take this team from semifinals. If not, otherwise we will take this team. Pretty straightforward. So in this case, we take Blazers because Blazers won the match. So refresh, and you see this time Warriors are coming up because they beat it up. And we are going to write the same formula for this one as well. If Thunder score is bigger than Spurs score, you will take Thunder. If not, you will take Spurs. And we have found out the promoting teams. We are going to write the rand between function here. Let's say this time, let's say the bottom is 70 and our top limit is 130. And paste it here. And we are going to find the champion by comparing this. This is larger than this, then we have to take the Warriors. If not, we are going to take this first. And you see, we have created the NBA Finals simulation by using the run between and if functions. So every time I refresh, the promoting teams and champion is changing. So you can just turn your values, turn your formulas into values and make it into static. So let's check our answer now, and everything seems nice. Okay, thanks for watching. In the next video we are going to learn if error function. So keep following.